Welcome to EAPIC Lesson 5, Double Vowels and Phrase Stress. This is a fun one. I think you'll enjoy this one, this lesson. Just a couple notes here before we get started. You remember in Lesson 1, we did the butterfly for phrasing and syllables. Lesson 2, we did the Tai Chi for fluency. And also, Tai Chi is used, we use it many times. We will use the Tai Chi in this lesson as well. Excuse me. Right. In Lesson 3, we did the TH sound, which is really kind of a model for all of the consonants of English, that we can use that kind of basic idea. And we'll be doing some more consonants. We'll be doing R and L and a couple others in the regular lessons. But I would really recommend that if you have a consonant that you have difficulty pronouncing, then please come to one of the Wednesday evening feedback sessions. That's at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I will, usually I have time to help everybody, whether kind of individual problems they're having, in addition to just reviewing the lesson itself. The B is a credit Anna Shaw. That is my talented granddaughter. And she did two pictures, one for lesson 1, or lesson 2, excuse me, with the Tai Chi, the butterfly, well, it could be either one, lesson 1, the butterfly feeling. And we got that idea from the great boxing champion of them all, Muhammad Ali, Cassius Clay. One of his great aphorisms was, float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. And the in lesson 4, when we did the single vowels, this last week, if you remember, single vowels were taps, very strong taps in various places like that. Excuse me, I've got a bit of an allergy today. And so there's this bee that you see there should actually be with lesson 4, sting like a bee. In lesson 5, the double vowels, they float more like a butterfly. As you will see, they're more fluid, 2 parts, and kind of flow together. So there you are. Again, as I say, for the consonants, I've had a couple of emails about the consonants. Please join me on Wednesday. The other possibility would be now to sign up to join the regular Wednesday sessions. Those you have to be paid up from now on to go to the Wednesday sessions, or sign up for just some private lesson, not just a Wednesday lesson with me. We can do that too. Anyway, the details will be on the blog post about how to do that. So a couple ways you can do it. As always, or almost always, there's a song, the Double Vowel Blues. And let's go through the words. I'll kind of show you how it works. You can see here, like last week, we have the MT4 number, 6Y, or 6W, 11W, 6W, 11W. So it's double vowel blues, double vowel blues. And the next line, boy, oi, do, saying there's 11W, you, another 11W, no, 9W, how, 6W, I, 6Y, lose, 6W. So same principle. And remember numbers on the clock or numbers in the matrix. Yeah. So you can see where they are. And one would be higher and 6 is down lower on the clock. So same idea, but you can see now these vowels that we'll be working on, there's 7 of them, have 2 parts, either a basic vowel and then a Y or a W attached to them. We call it an off glide. There's that word, off glide, right there. Off glide. All right. So for a little warm up, a little practice to kind of get us ready for this. Remember last week, module 7, excuse me, module 4. Used to be module 7. It moved around on me. We did this W on glide. Remember that? What? Remember that? Right. Well, here's the same idea. This with Y. We do Y on glide. And for some languages, the Y on glide is kind of a problem for people. We're just going to do a little bit of practice of it. So we'll just kind of follow the chart there. Excuse me. We'll start with my kangaroo up here. Y's up here, my kangaroo. It's kind of in this area, kind of in the middle. Yeah. We do a little bit of a hook. So it'd be something like ye, yay. On the other side, you can go you, yo. Do those 4 again. Ye, yo, yo. Then we got 3 that are down here. Trust me, down here about 6 inches further, right? Yeah. Then we did sound last week. Hold, Same one. We've got an plus a W or a Y. So the first one is starting up with kangaroo. Yow, yow. So it's yi, and W back up here. Yow, yow. So when you practice it, get both the E, Y, and the U. Yow, yow. Next one is, now we got 2 Y's. Y on glide and Y off glide. Yay, yay, yay. There's another one. You got 2 on glide and off glide Y. Yoy, yoy. So when you practice that, make sure you start it up here. E, right? E. Get the E firm and then go with it. Yoy, yoy. Give it a practice. Now, then a little bit of review with the Y on glide from last week. I have a couple words. I got a couple made up words here. No such words in English, but something kind of like it, right? Okay, so starting with Y again, the first one is yip. Well, that's kind of the sound made by like our dog next door. That sound, yip, yip, yip. So yip, yip. And the next one, there's no such word in English. It's yip. Well, maybe I have friends who I hear them say that yip, meaning whoops, or even I'm not sure what they mean by it. So, yip, yip. It's that all right. Yip, yip. And then the other say is yep, yep, yep. And that one, many people use that instead of saying yes. Yep, yep. Get a good start with a good E up here. Yep, yep. And same thing, yaw, yaw, yaw. I'm not sure what that. I hear people say that. Just yaw. Maybe kind of, yeah, I don't believe you. So it is kind of a word in some places in the U.S. Then the other one, let's just do, the next one is yak, the animal. Yak, yak. And the last one, yuck, yuck. That's yuck. That's particularly with my grandchildren. That's one of their favorite words. Yuck, yuck. Then finally, ya, ya, ya. Then for yes, right? Ya, ya. So practice those. That's kind of your warm up for this week. Good. The main thing is start with a very strong E up on the kangaroo. Yeah. Go and so it really pushes down very strongly as it glides. So you can feel the gliding motion. So really good warm up exercise. Now here's your required, your homework, your reading. 7 vowels, 2 parts each. I said W and Y. There's a list of them, ones that are 2 parts. Double vowels are done like this. One hand with fingernails scratch the palm of the other hand. And then, so the idea with these double vowels is, like for example, with 1Y is touch and scratch. Touch, same place as with the single vowels, like E, double E, E, or A, right? Or I. So it's touching, same spot as the single vowel, and then scratch, touch and scratch. Think of it that way, right? So that's on E, A, and I. That's how. So the Y is a kind of a The off glide goes like that. Now, on the other side, we've got 6W, 9W, and 11W, those three. And those are a little bit like a loop. Call them a loop vowel. We call them loop vowels, actually. So it's ooh. So touch here, just like, same spot. Then you do a loop and come back and touch. So you touch twice. Ooh, ooh, ooh. If you got fingernails, you can feel it. Your fingernails could actually touch 2 times. Ooh, ooh. Same thing for oh, oh. That. And then ow down here. Ow, ow. There's also one other one I didn't have listed there. That's oi, oi, 8Y, oi. But you see the idea there. So the ones over there are all with the Y off glide. The ones over here are all with the W off glide. Sort of. All right. Okay, let's do a little training quickly. Like I said, so I'll do 1Y with me. See how my hand is. See the position here. It's tip of my fingers about at the kangaroo, something like that. So it's E, like that. Got that? E. Pretty simple. Down here, about it, up the tip of my nose, about the tip of my nose, something like that. A. Then I is down here. It's I. Your hand stays in touch. Just kind of scratches up your thumb, basically. I. Something like I. Then the back ones. First with a moo. So again, it's touch and circle. Ooh. Ooh. Moo. Then mo, down, same thing. Mo. Mo. And there's that one, the back one that actually has the Y off glide. Oi. Oi. It's oi. Oi. It's how you kind of feel that move. Oi. Main thing is to keep your hands back here. Sometimes with the video, it's kind of tricky for me. I should have my hands back here, but I can't move back that far. So my hands look very big, I'm sorry. But maybe it's a little bit better because you can see my hands a little more directly. All right. So again, there's a kind of a list of them here. And then we've got ow and I, kind of down low ones. That's ow. Actually, it should be this ow. Should go that direction. Ow, because it's a W. Ow. Then I. So those are the sixth of the double vowels, right? 6 or 7? 7 single vowels and 7 double vowels. Wow, how about that? Here's a little practice for you. Go through these. Some more words to practice. And again, with your this week, with your notes, as you're working on these exercises, as you find words that you're particularly a new word that you want to remember how to pronounce, or one that maybe you don't have the stress pattern quite right, write them down, particularly, and note what the vowel number is. So at the end of this lesson, you should be able to write down, or at least try to write down the vowel number for any word, any word that's in a text or written. Maybe not some of the funny expressions like yip and yo and that sort of thing, but regular words. You now have, at least you can go to the dictionary and look them up if you can't figure out what it is. But so use that system. Use the vowel number system to help remind you what the vowel is, particularly in the stressed syllable of a word. Here is the, again, here's your part of your homework as well. And last week we did stress in words and phrases. And this week, in this lesson, we're looking at stress in longer pieces of words, sentences, or maybe a very, very long phrase, but basically looking at stress in sentences, because in one sentence, you could have 2 or 3 rhythm groups. And the idea here is that one of those rhythm groups, usually the last one, will be the strongest. And it'll have a different We use brackets around that. You can see that on the word pronunciation here. See that? So, for example, this one would be something like, say I was using the Tai Chi on this one. So I'm washing the dishes. I'm washing the dishes, and then I'm practicing my pronunciation. I'm washing the dishes, and then I'm practicing my pronunciation. The idea basically is that pronunciation is louder than dishes. That's the idea, right? And you'll see it marked in the embodied oral reading. It's there as well. Very, very simple, very easy to see. So note, like I just said, if there's more than one rhythm group in a sentence, the strongest group, the sentence stress, is in braces. So this thing, braces. We use brackets, so square ones, for phonetic, from the dictionary, brackets. Braces indicate sentence stress. All right, the situation here is a new neighbor meets up with one of his neighbors for the first time. Very friendly mood. A note here, it's important. Only one double vowel is indicated in each rhythm group. Each rhythm group should be on the stressed syllable in the stressed word. So you'll see how it works. In other words, in these sentences, in the embodied oral reading, there's more than one double vowel. But the one we're going to concentrate on is the one in the stressed syllable. And then when we're done, we'll go back and look at a few of the other words that are also double vowels, but ones that are not stressed. And the reason for that is, if a double vowel is not stressed, the doubleness it kind of backs off. It lightens. Sometimes you can't even hear exactly that there's a double vowel. You may hear it like one vowel, right? So double vowels change when they're not in a stressed word in a rhythm group or something like that. A little bit anyway. Okay, so let's just go through the embodied oral reading. On this one, we've got, as always do it this way, right? We've got 1Y and 3Y. So, good evening. I'm Tom Mays. Do it together. Good evening. I'm Tom Mays. Okay, so 1B says what? So 1Y and 9W. Nice to meet you. I'm Bill Owens. So Owens. Which I did it too fast. I didn't get the complete double vowel in there. All right, 2A, 911, 911. Easy one. So 911 and 911. We just moved here from Vancouver. Say it together. We just moved here from Vancouver. You notice I changed there. The first time I did it, my hand was kind of a bit out like this. How to get your hand straight like that. So it's a nice flat surface for you to touch. 2B, 1Y and 11W. 1Y, a little bit higher. 1Y and 11W. We've lived here for 2 years. We've lived here for 2 years. Okay, the next one is 6Y, 9W, 8Y. A little tricky. So, okay, so 6Y going to be down here. Right? Now, if it's a Y, it's going to go in this direction. So 6Y, 9W, 8Y, 8Y. Try again, Bill. Okay. 6Y, 9W, 8Y. Okay, here we go. My wife works at home. I work in Toytown. My wife works at home. I work at Toytown. Toytown. There's a place in Japan called Toytown, right? Toytown. See how powerful those vowels are? That's one of them is just so. In fact, I think in some embodied oral readings before, we actually used Toytown. Still, it's very powerful how that stays with you. It stays with me. Okay, here's 3B. We got 11W, 3Y, and 1Y. 11W, 3Y, and 1Y. Do it again. 11W, 3Y, 1Y. I'm teaching junior high, and Katie is teaching preschool. Do that again. I'm teaching junior high, and Katie is teaching preschool. Okay. This takes some coordination, doesn't it? Huh? Right. Okay. All right. For A, we got 6Y, 9W, and 3Y. Here we go. Had time to get to know the neighborhood. Had time to get to know the neighborhood. Neighborhood. When you're practicing it, be able to feel both parts of the vowel. Neighborhood. Again, in conversation, you don't say it. It's neighborhood. But for practice, draw out those both parts of the sound. 4B, 9W, 1Y, 6Y. 9W, 1Y, 6Y. Only a little, but we really like it. Now notice too that with that one, normally there's a vertical line like that, but if you have a comma, same. I don't put those in. So that's what. So there are 1, 2, 3 rhythm groups in that sentence. Okay, 5A. So 1Y, 1Y, 3Y. If you need something, just email me, okay? If you need something, just email me, okay? All right. 5B, 1Y, 3Y. Easy, huh? Okay, so 1Y, 3Y. Much appreciated. That'd be great. Much appreciated. That'd be great. 6A, 3Y, and 6Y. So 3Y and 6Y. Later this week, can you stop by? Later this week, can you stop by? It gets easier as even for me, as I get doing this and going through it, easier for me to bring them both together. But I don't expect you to be able to do what I'm doing. You can see you got to work on it. You got to do it slowly, kind of build up to do these. But when you do build it up slowly and get this, they stick. You'll be amazed how some of these things will come out in conversation even. Just clear speech, if nothing else. And the last one, 6Y, 3Y, and 11W. That'd be nice. I'll check with Katie. See you soon. That'd be nice. I'll check with Katie. See you soon. Now again, you can see if you watch me, I'm not very accurate sometimes on where I place my hand. Sometimes 11's up here, sometimes it's kind of floats around. Not too important. Main thing is you can feel a difference up and down over here. 11, 9. Same thing over here. 1, 3, 1, 3, 5. 5's down here, as you remember from last week. 5. Okay. All right. Now I mentioned that we would go back and just look really quickly at where the other double vowels are, and I'll kind of show you how that works. So in here in line 1A, we've got I'm, that would be 6Y, right? Down here in line 1B, we've got nice, that's 6Y. We've got you, that's 11W. We've got I'm, that's, what is it? Ah, good. You're getting it, 6Y. Down here we got weave, 1Y. Here, no, I'm sorry, that's not a double vowel. Some people pronounce it like it is. They pronounce it here. It's not. That's actually, that's a vowel too. We'll do that a little bit later. We got here, line 3A, my. Okay. Line 3B, I'm teaching. Both the 6Y, 1Y. Hi, 6Y. Here's teaching again, 1Y. For A, well, here's the interesting one. We've got 2, get 2. Now, if you pronounce that slowly, that's 11W, right? But actually, in fast speech, that to get to know, to get to those are 12s. thumb flicks, right? The two becomes, really drops down, becomes very, very short, almost disappears. Neighborhood, no, nothing there, only a little, but we, there's one Y, we, 5A, U, 11W, me, one Y, email me, okay, much appreciated, that'd be great. Later this week, one Y, you stop by. That'd be B, there's B, even B, when you speak it quickly, that'd be nice, that'd be nice. Really becomes really short. I'll check my Katie and C, CU, 1Y, 11W. Now, even like with that one, that'd be nice. What that really is, although if you just pronounce it slowly, it's 1Y. That'd be nice. But what it really is it's the off glide falls off. That'd be nice. So that'd be nice. It's almost like the vowel 6 and vowel 8 in the single vowels. Remember, they're hold. These are hold vowels. It's actually a hold, a double vowel when the glide falls off. That'd be nice. B. That'd be nice. There's no Y there, right? That's what happens. So in these double vowels that are not stressed, the glide sometimes almost falls off. Sometimes you can't hear it at all. Anyway, that's what's going on. That's kind of how we do that. Okay. Before we finish here, here's a little review, and you can work on that one of all of the vowels from lesson 4 and 5. That's pretty much the complete system. Like I said, we will work later on what happens to a double vowel when it is not stressed, in a phrase or a sentence. They change a little bit. If you really want to work on some of the accuracy of your speech, really drill down deep, that's the kind of thing you want to work on. So there you are. Practice that. That's it. Even this one is just to be a great practice for you, kind of at the end of your work. And as usual, not as usual, but all kinds of things you can do in terms of homework and kind of how you lay it out. But typically, like I say, warm up, do a song, or do the ones that we have for this week. Again, typically review one or more of the previous embodied oral readings. The idea is, if you have the time, I would just go back and do the embodied oral reading from 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then 5. Because it's in the embodied oral readings and in that practice that the sounds begin to come into your speech. It helps you working with those things in conversation. In conversation, they come back out. That's kind of the idea of how it's built. Then do the training, as always. Go through it carefully. Watch yourself, if you can watch yourself on video or a mirror, like I do with me. And again, I'm always adjusting as I'm trying to do this for you on where my hand positions are. And it takes a little practice to get that. You can't do it. It's really difficult to do it not getting some kind of reflection back to yourself. But you can. Then times you have to go over and look. You can see where my hands are. You kind of check visually on how you do it. As always, write down every time you practice, just make a little note, like a diary is perfect. New words you're working on, or problems that you have, or just thoughts that you have about it. And then you use, now, particularly now, at the end of lesson 5, you have all the vowels, you have rhythm groups, and you have fluency that you can work with. You also have at least TH. In fact, you can try some other consonants with that as well. You begin to do it yourself. In other words, the idea of this course is by the end, you have the tools, you have the MT4s, that you can work on your speech and perfect it as much as you like, and in many different ways, which near the end, I will give you kind of a summary or kind of a listing of it, advice on how to do that. And if you work with me personally in the second half of the course, I will give you a personal work and we'll go have coffee together and whatever. And then, as I just said, at the end of your practice this week, do that vowel review, because you've got all the vowels together, going back and forth between them, and like that. Anyway, look forward to having some of you at least join me on Wednesday evenings. And again, email me if you got a question about that, or if you want to join up, and I do it through PayPal or something. We'll get that set up. Anyway, as always, great talking to you and with you, and look forward to seeing you in lesson 6.